Well, let's get more on that now and put some of those questions to our guest, Joe Macaron, political analyst at the Arab Center, Washington, D.C. He's joining us live from there. Very good to have you with us on Al-Jazeera. So he's back in Beirut. But do you think he will rescind his resignation?
I mean, I doubt. He went so far with all the Saudi calculation, he cannot basically rescind. And now there's, I think he will officially submit resignation now. There's talks now between leading diplomacy of French and Egyptian leading diplomacy to basically go between Saudi Arabia and Iran to find what's accepted by the Saudis. And there's also, of course, an internal component, which what kind of government we will have, when it will be the election. Some are talking maybe the election won't be till May. It could be maybe early next year to basically make it earlier. But at least now we passed the crisis, the beginning of the crisis. There's no concern about the stability. And now Lebanese issue became more internationalized. It's no longer a local issue as it was between 2014 and 2017. So now we're having a more international aspect of it. And we'll see what will happen. There's a lot of scenarios that we can expect moving forward.
And we have seen so far since the resignation incredible unity, as we heard from our correspondent Zaina Hodder, since the resignation, urged by everyone from President Aoun to Hezbollah. In the days and the months ahead, with political uncertainty now, do you expect that unity to last?
I mean, it should stay for the minimum. It's indeed, I mean, Zena was right. It's a rare moment of unity. You have a country basically who, despite all the international intervention in it, at least the oligarchy, with all its problem, they stood by each other in that sense. And they said to the regional players that we don't want a confrontation at this point, that we have a stability, we have other baby plans in mind. And that's a bit of maturity for Lebanon. Since 2005, when the Syrian left, Lebanon basically was struggling to basically have a decision-making process. Who's going to be influential? The Syrians are out. Lebanese were learning how to govern themselves. And now it was a rare moment of maturity in how they dealt with this. And nobody is excluded from that, except a few politicians who had their own interest, which is expected. But now we have to see. Hezbollah is trying to say, I might get out of Iraq. The Saudis are asking, no, we have to have more demands from Yemen. Hezbollah wants to stay in the government. The Saudis are saying should be out of the government. So there's a lot of complication. There should be a compromise at some point, led by the French and by Egyptians, to focus maybe on the election, postpone any big problems, have a neutral government with no trying to take stance between Iran and Saudi Arabia, and try to basically overcome the crisis that was partly, more external than internal. Yeah, it was not basically produced by the internal Lebanese system.
There are a lot of moving parts there. Joe Macaron, thank you very much for your time, your insights on this story.